No one ever found out. And I thought,
I don't think you should be saying this on the podcast.
I think there's a statute to this, right? Nobody got hurt. What kind of classes are you taking at school?
With the pandemic and everything, it kind of scared me a little bit. So I was like, maybe even though I'm getting the experience from my job, I think that's always better than school, actually having real experience. But I was like firsthand, but I was like, maybe I should fall back on something, maybe like just a degree or something. So I've been going for graphic designing, which I took some classes last year, but this year, one of the classes were like 3D animation. That was one of them that kind of fall in my line of graphic designer. And now that I'm taking it though, I'm like, maybe I should do something in 3D animation because I seem to like it a lot. My only problem is graphic designer is a lot more realistic around here. You know what I mean? Like when I look up graphic designer, like the hospitals need it, the county of Tulare needs it.
Yeah.
Who's gonna need a 3D animation artist?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like something that's not going to be around here.
Yeah,
so
if you're going to fall back on something, you want something that you can fall back on.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know where that's going to go right now at the moment, but
it's hard to know that.
Yeah.
I mean, you really don't know. It's hard. It's like looking into the abyss or the crystal ball, you just don't know. One of the things I wanted to talk about today, I remember that I know you do, the movie with Jim Carrey, where he went, and we talked about this, I think, on one of the shows about telling the truth.
Liar.
Yeah. So, I started thinking about that because I get some interesting responses from people,
Oh, is that what you were doing? You were looking for me to lie, huh?
No. But anyway, so I guess my question is, do you think truth is overrated?
Ooh. No. I think lying's overrated.
How so?
I think
more people... there's a spider on your wall?
But yeah, right. I got these little like cheap little Halloween decorations, and I just thought like if I just let the kids randomly put it up throughout the house, they'll have a blast. And it was like, I don't know, like $1 or $5 for like a pack of 30. Yeah. And I just let them, it's all around my house. And after Halloween, I just never, they wanted them up still. They're like, we like it. And I've just left it up. So there's spiders everywhere. And I'm actually terrified of spiders.
I just noticed that. Yeah, me too. I am. Anyway, back to the, how do you think lying is overrated?
No. You said is telling the truth overrated. I said, no, I think lying is, because more people lie. And I don't know why. Like, why is it such a thing to lie so much? I hope when I lie, it's usually for the other person. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Protect their feelings.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that's why people lie more than,
lying serves a purpose.
Mm-hmm. But there's nothing ever, usually when I do lie, I try very hard not to lie. Usually when I don't tell the truth or I try to go around it, it comes back to bite me in the ass. So I'm like, you might as well just say the truth now and then,
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I totally think truth is overrated. Completely. It's never served me well. Never. Especially with a female.
Is it coming the truth to you or you telling the truth to somebody else?
Me telling the truth. There's something about me. I mean, I had one of my clients made a comment, and I can't tell you exactly what the body of the conversation was, but it was like the gist of it was like, well, guys like you, you know what I mean? You can't trust, Yeah. And that's not really, for me, has been unusual. So I really did try. I thought, okay, I'm going to tell the truth, on certain situations and just see. It never worked out. It's like, I got the same response if I would have lied.
I'm in a situation right now where I could relate. I'm like, this time around, I'm gonna be brutally upfront, 100% honest. And I'm kind of with you. I'm like, I might as well just fucking not be honest because it's feeling the same.
Well,
it's not doing me any purpose.
No, it's like, okay, you're gonna respond like that. Well, I should have just lied to you.
Because it's the same response. That's exactly.
It's the same response. So why should I tell the truth?
I may be with you the more I think about this question. Because I'm trying really hard. And I'm not a liar, but like I said, sometimes I won't be completely honest because I'm protecting the other's feelings, and I never lie. I just kind of don't tell don't get into that situation where you need to tell the truth. You get what I mean?
I do a version of the truth.
Me too. Me too.
And I lie because to protect my feelings.
It's
you know what I mean? More than just straight out lying, like I'm lying to you, I'm a pathological liar. But I will tell you that I'm if I really analyze, I'm probably lying more than I am telling the truth. Because like I said, truth has never served me proper.
I just tried to get in situations where you don't have to tell the truth or lie. You're kind of going around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I try to go around it, and then when it does happen, I've been like that where you're trying to. Mine was more protecting them, so I would just leave stuff out. But now I've been trying to be honest, and I'm getting the same result. I'm like, I might as well just fucking not be honest.
And I don't know if it's just because I think a female's brain is wired to be skeptical. Highly skeptical. I think by nature they are. Something.
I think they go off feelings, emotions more than guys do. So everything's always about a emotion and a feeling.
So that more than guys. That might be the reason why. Because I've noticed that although I'm really skeptical now at an older age, I wasn't so skeptical when I was younger, like in my 40s compared to where I am now. I'm highly skeptical. But I don't know if it's my age, but I just think that by nature, women are just really skeptical. So I think that you're kind of like guilty before proven innocent, or you're guilty until you're proven innocent instead of you're innocent until you're proven guilty. I think you're guilty until you're proven innocent.
Look at the culture right now, and with the celebrities, with the Me Too movements and stuff. As soon as, this goes for, it's not just girls, it goes for anyone making a claim. As soon as they make a claim, it's like, oh, I've been touched by this person, or this person, even a guy, this person treated me unfairly on this film, whatever you want to say. They're always like, that person loses their job, canceled, and I'm like, dude, nothing, we have no evidence yet. It was just one person saying something. Nothing was proven or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I tell you what I think I've really gotten good at is I've gotten really good at when I'm dealing with people. And I didn't really realize until I've been called on it by somebody who's actually a very good friend. And a lot of people don't know when I'm telling the truth or lying. They can't read that. Mm-hmm. I was watching 2.5 Men. We've talked about that program, 2.5 Men. I love watching it. Yeah. I can watch it over and over again. I have been for years. And Alan, his brother, was talking to Charlie. And Charlie's a rascal. And I guess I'm a bit of a rascal myself, but Alan says, how do I know if you're telling the truth or you're lying? He just said, you just figured that I'm always lying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I just figured that I am, and that I'm not, that'd be the easiest way for you to deal with me. But no, but the crazy thing is even a small truth that has no consequences, I favor not even telling that truth a lot of times. I just don't see how it benefits. It's like it's not that important in my mind.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't know if you thought it was, because I remember so many times with girlfriends and I said, what the fuck did I tell you the truth? I told you the truth and you still don't believe me.
I don't like trying to say all people, but I will say a good portion of the difference out of girls and guys when it comes to that. And like I said, I don't want a whole bunch of people attacking me. I just think girls are usually more with their emotions and feelings, and guys are more logical. You know what I mean? And I know, yeah, that sucks. But I'm just being honest. Like, I feel like it's always their feelings when you're like, okay, I know how you feel, but that's not real life. That's not realistic. The logical thing is this. And they're like, nah, so I think it just always comes to feelings. So like you could lie and you're in trouble. You could tell the truth and you're in trouble because it's how they feel.
Yeah. And there's a distinction there when you ask somebody, how are you doing compared to how are you feeling? Mm-hmm. There's a distinction there. Yeah, access is different side of your brain, I guess. The emotional side.
Yeah, because I think when you say
how are you doing to me puts me more objective, I think, than how are you feeling?
So you like how you doing more than how you feeling?
Yes.
That's funny. I was going to say the opposite, because usually when someone says, hey, like act like I walked into the gym, Leo, and you were like, hey, good morning, how you doing?
Yeah.
Automatically, without thinking, I'm going to be like, good. But I could be having the worst fucking day of my life.
So are you
know what I mean?
Are you lying at that point?
Yeah, I am. I'm so like programmed and used to being like, good. Like I don't think of it. But if someone would, how
like
are you
default
feeling?
Answer.
That would like stop me in my tracks. And I'd be like, how am I feeling? You know what I mean?
So it makes you think more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we have, just like what you're saying, we have this shit built into our, our psyche or whatever. It's like when somebody asks you, hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm doing great. And you're not.
Yeah.
So should we at that point say, I'm really doing shitty? I don't think, like I said, I don't think telling the truth I think it's overrated.
You're right. Because when people do ask that, let's be honest, when people go out of their way to be like, good morning, how you doing? They don't give a fuck.
No, they don't.
They're programmed to do that as well. They're programmed to ask that. We're programmed to answer with good.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. What about, you said that, kind of like Charlie Sheen, he's like, when do I know you're lying? Yeah. What's something that you think people misunderstand about you the most? Like, what's something that you think people don't really get about you?
That I'm really sensitive. Hold on, Charlie. Yeah, come in. Uh-huh. I'm on a podcast. Okay. So a former client just walked in.
So
do we need to pause right now?
No, it's fine. I'll just okay, so I'll just ask it again.
Yeah.
What do you think is most misunderstood about you, Leo?
People, they don't realize how sensitive I am. Oh. I am very sensitive, and I'm
surprised you're saying this on the podcast. That's big. No, for sure, Leo.
But let me ask you this. I mean, you can, of course, we have an interesting relationship, working as well as friendship. I mean, on the front of things, do I seem like somebody who's sensitive?
So I wanted to get into this because, when we first met, it was very work related. You're one of my bosses, and we started a podcast, and you're a big guy, you're tall, you're big, good looking, you talk $1 million voice, I always tell you. But we would do podcasts for another podcast, a Serious Growth podcast. And I was scared of you. I think of you as a very old school manly man. You know what I mean? Big. Yeah. You could tell he's a hard worker, very like stern, and like, I didn't really see any emotion. But as time's gone on, I would like to say as well, we have a working relationship, but I look at you as we have a friendship relationship as well. And I have seen the emotional side sometimes, and I love it, but I still think you're very guarded and you very watch it,
Yeah.
But no, I could see that. I could see people not seeing it.
And the thing about it is, it's funny because I built this wall or this divide, in front of me for protection. And I really don't know why. I think about maybe it's because my parents, they divorced. Maybe that did something to me. But I've always been like that. Like I have this defense mechanism. I don't want people to see that, and I don't know why, because some people are just, they seem to be fine showing that side of them, their personality. And it's just kind of interesting. No, but I think I've actually spent my whole life making sure that I come off that way, and I think there's a side of me that is stern and that is alpha. I mean, I am that person, but the original question was what people don't really know is I'm sensitive and I'm actually very shy in certain situations.
I don't know how so if you're close to me, then I think people close to me and people that aren't see two whole different people, like night and day difference.
Yeah.
If you don't really know me, I've been told I'm an asshole and I'm a dick. But if you do know me, I think I'm very emotional. Yeah. And I feel very shy. But me and my best friend Mike, we were talking about an idea of like a filming idea. And something came up where I was like, I'll ask. And the shy thing came up. And he was just like, bro, I don't know why you always think you're so shy. And I was like, I am shy. He's like, no, dude, you've never been shy. And I'm like, at school, at work, stuff like that. He's like, yeah, but what's the main themes in your life? Your kids, filming, girls. You're not shy at any of those things. And those are the only things that should matter. And I'm like, oh, but everything else in life I'm shy about. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Very
Is
shy.
it because you feel like you have control in those three areas that you just mentioned?
Maybe. I don't really, I just look at myself as shy. He just doesn't look at me like that. So right. I don't know
how other people perceive you as opposed to how you perceive yourself.
Yeah. When I first show up, I couldn't be there today, but usually when I am in studio with you, it takes me a minute. Like I'm nervous driving over there. And how many times have I been there now? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm nervous. I get there. And if you go back and watch them, you could probably see a difference out of the first 20 minutes to the last 20 minutes. Yeah. That's like, get out of this shyness shell and stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, it's fascinating how stuff like that, sort of encapsulates our being. And yet I've noticed that when I perceive that I have control, I'm a different personality. Or when I know, information, if I'm given a presentation, then I'm a different person. But that side of me that gets so shy and sensitive. I mean, I was just talking, we have somebody that we both know whose mom is in the hospital, going through some stuff. And I mean, I was talking to her today because she got some pretty good news, the daughter. And I'm on this side of it talking, and I'm like getting choked up. My voice is cracking. I get like that shit, and it's uncomfortable for me. I can't roll with it because I guess I don't know. I'm uncomfortable, and I think that has probably to do with my age and the way I was brought up. I think to some degree that's the case. But anyway, the point of that was just telling the truth all the time, like when Jim Carrey was doing that. He had some bad consequences for being brutally honest.
You remember that girl in the? I think they had, was it sex in the room or the elevator or something? And she's like, "Did you like that?" And he's like, "I've had better." And he's like, "Oh my god," like. I guess like the elevator, because I think she throws him out after.
I guess a part of that response would make there'd be a moment of feeling like, I said it like it was. And then dealing with the consequence of that, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have said it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you nailed it right there. It's the consequence, and that's why sometimes we say stuff a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I lie all the time. My wife, and I don't care if she sees the podcast, but I got some shoes the other day. And hey, listen, she has no reason to. I mean, she can ask me whatever she wants, and that's not a problem. And if she wants to give me shit, that's fine. But she goes, how much are your shoes? They're $350. I said, I got them on sale for $150. I just tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
And, her response really isn't going to be that much different, I don't think. Because she said, oh, my God. She always has something to say about it. So I'm thinking, why the fuck did I even say $150? I got them on sale for $20. They're handmade. I don't know. It's crazy. I guess it's about just which battles do you want to choose to fight or hassle over, It's like, I got the fucking shoes because I liked them in a story.
Yeah, done.
And sometimes I do, respond that way, but it's just interesting trying different ways to respond to see if you can get a different fucking response. And it's like,
Talking about responding, something I've noticed, the end of last year, I started noticing like my responses are always negative, but that's not how I really feel. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's why, let's say filming, you hit me up and you're like, I got this film idea. Let's film this Saturday. I'd probably be like, oh, fuck, this Saturday. But you know me, like I live to film.
Right.
But like even stuff I love, I have to say something kind of negative, and I don't know why. It's been kind of bugging me. Like, why do you go out of your way to be negative when that's not how you truly feel in the inside? You get what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe it's maybe you're having a commitment issue. Maybe like you don't really want to commit to that. Oh yeah. No, maybe it's that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think it could be that. And I also think if you always say everything's going to be shitty and you just have even a little bit more fun than shitty, it's like amazing. You know what I mean? If you always have a negative fucking mindset and then anything good happens, you're just like having the best day ever.
Well, maybe that's just your way of being able to tolerate, good news. It's like set the bar very low, and anything above that, hey, it's a good day.
Yeah, I think that's on it. I think it's like probably 40% the commitment thing and 60% that.
We're all pretty interesting as human beings when you get down to the, inside that person's head.
Yeah,
pretty interesting the way they think and respond and all that kind of stuff. How about have you ever had any near-death experiences?
I know we talked about this, and I didn't say. I don't think I got into mine because I think I told a story. You remember of when the girl passed away in my arms? Yeah. I think I went to actual death, but for me, near death, I was, like now you hear of kids being born like 3 months early. It's no big deal now, but I was born in the 80s and I was born like 3-4 months early. So it was like a very big deal. And then I was born with pneumonia. So, and then I've got pneumonia like 100 times in my lifetime. And when I get it, I'm like very ill. And so that, but like maybe, there's been there was one time, the first time I ever went driving, I was drunk and high. I was like 16. I did like 110.
Holy
there
shit.
Was that, but I don't know if that's near death. One time we were in Visalia and we were going to this house party and these gangsters came up and they started like some crap with us and we left and they started following us and they shot at our car a whole bunch of times.
Oh, wow.
And like they kept on shooting and everybody was like ducking down in the car and I was just like in shock. I was in the passenger seat like, and they're like, Charles, put your head down. So, and then when we got home, so we still went to the party. We were young, so we're like, we're still going to the party. Like now I think I would have went home and cried or something, but, we went to the party and then the next day, my friend, when we got up, he was like looking at his car and there was like bullets stuck in the seat and in the trunk, went through the whole one door to the other. So bullets went inside the car and none of us got hit.
Wow.
I guess that would be kind of near death. I've slammed really hard on my skateboard where like I threw my head back And thankfully, it was when the skate park just opened. So like usually when skate parks just open, they want you to wear pads until like they can't enforce the rules anymore. And they're like, fuck it. But I slammed really hard and broke my helmet. So I was like, oh my God, if I wouldn't have had my helmet on right now, I would have probably have died, because those helmets are like really good material helmets. You know what I mean? Like for me to just break that thing in pieces, I was like, my head would be gone. Stuff like that. But besides that, I think I've had alcohol poisoning once. And then besides that,
well, you know how some people, they say that they've seen a white light, you know. I can say that I have been near death 3 times. One time was when I got hurt in football, where I collapsed lung, broke ribs, internally bled. This is when the doctor came in and they brought in a pastor, or somebody giving my last rites. And and then the second time was in a car accident going to Fresno in the fog, and all of a sudden there was car and people were out on the freeway and sliding to miss them. And then I'm getting to what my sort of the meaning of all this. And then the third time was when I had these strokes.
Oh yeah.
In all 3 of those scenarios, Charlie, that something that was sort of common ground on all 3 of those scenarios was that I was the most in a calm state that I've ever been in. And for some reason, it's interesting. I'm wondering, why does that happen? I mean, like, everything seemed like it went slow motion. I was very lucid. I was very calm. I wasn't afraid of the situation that I was in. The exact opposite. And I wonder what that is. It's got to be part of your fight or flight nervous system, I guess, now that I'm talking about it. But one of the things that I also remember is that after all 3 of those things happened is when the chaos happened, because then all of a sudden it was like, oh, I could have died. All of a sudden it's like, that's when I got really riled up and like sort of freaked out about the whole thing.
Yeah, nothing like, I've been in one car accident that I totaled the car. My girlfriend didn't have a license at the time. And I was like, do you want to drive? And she was like, yeah. I can't remember. She was a pothead, but I can't remember if she was smoking or not. But she was driving, and I was like looking for my lighter, and I couldn't find my lighter. So I got some matches. I like lit up a cigarette, like Welcome to the Jungle's on by Guns N' Roses. Oh. And like, I just see like right in the corner of my eye when I'm lifting up I'm right about to take a hit, like another car coming and just hits us. And then like the song changes. It's like, hello, darkness, my old friend. And everything's like flying around in the car. And I'm like, there's my lighter. Boof. And then really fast. I was like, switch me seats. And I was in pain. It was like, it hurt. And I was like, switch me seats, because I knew she didn't have a license. And that was my car with my insurance, So I was like, switch me. So we switched real fast. And then I got out of the car, and the other person's car was messed up, and they were trying to take off, but they couldn't drive it because it was like their car was totaled as well.
So when you were like flying, like the lighter was flying, was it slow motion? I know
it was very slow, very slow.
Well, I wonder why that happens. Why does it go slow like that?
I don't know. Cause I didn't think about it until like you said everything was calm. And I was like, you know what? I remember seeing it. As soon as I saw it, everything just slowed down. And I was like, oh, and then it just hit. And like, then
it happens fast.
It was probably second. It was probably boof, 2 seconds. But the 1 second before, the second it hit, I saw everything flying. And I was like, then it just went back to like,
That's so weird how crazy. That happens though. You wouldn't think that would slow down, that you could actually see all that in a matter of seconds, like you're saying. And then all of a sudden it's like, you're like, shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's only because, I've rear end, like I've done little hits, like little, nothing happens.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, fuck, I hit that person's car. God damn it. You know, but when it's bad enough, you know, that's when like, so I don't know what makes your body know that though. What from the difference, you know, from little things to the big things.
Real interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to find out more about that because that's happened every single. Now I remember another time in the fog and behind COS, I was hammered and I was trying to go home. And I thought, better not. So I turned around. So Woodland goes behind COS. So I turned around. I mean, I've told you this. I was going to my girlfriend's. She lived behind Kmart and there's apartments there.
That's so funny because right when you said that, I was like, I drive there every day because I don't live behind Kmart, but I live like honestly 2 blocks away. So I'm right around that area.
So you know the area.
All the time.
So I'm driving. I thought, okay, I better not. You know, I've done this too many times, and this is not going to be good. So I go back to her house. I was only maybe a half a mile away. I'm on Woodland, and I'm starting to relax now, thinking it's going to be okay. Turn, and I don't know what the name of that street is that runs behind Kmart, but I turned on the street before, thinking that I turned on that street.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So I'm driving. I turned my music up because I'm homeward bound. I'm going to make it. I'll be okay. Turn my music up. Well, I turned on a dead end, cul-de-sac. And I was going pretty fast. And it was foggy. Not bad, real bad, but it was foggy. But I was going fast enough to when I hit my brakes, because all of a sudden I'm at this cul-de-sac. I go into the skid. And it was, again, that slow motion thing. And I hit the curb. And I went through a fence. And I almost went in somebody's swimming pool. And and are you ready for this? Hammered and everything. I had the wherewithal to make a conclusion that I have to get the fuck out of here. I put it in the car to reverse. And Charlie, I had made a hole when I hit the fence where just the car, you know, went through the hole. There was no extra room because I went back to look at it the next day. I was able to, in reverse, back the fuck out of there, over the curb, out of the yard, over the curb, and I ended up at my girlfriend's house.
Before anybody found out?
No one ever found out. And I thought,
I don't think you should be saying this on the podcast.
I think there's a statute to this, right? Nobody got hurt except the fence.
I don't know how that works, but that's crazy.
Yeah, so I back out, crazy. You know, and then I turned on the right street, and I did notice that my car when I was driving it was like that, you know?
Yeah, make it.
Yeah, so I went up to the stop sign right there, and what pulls up is a 4-way stop. Cop. I thought, oh shit. Mm-hmm. I mean, this thing my car has to be dented. I'm done.
Have a piece of fence and a bush on it. Yeah.
I drive, you know, I was at the stop sign first. I crossed the old intersection. Unbelievably, he did not follow me. I thought, oh my God, maybe I didn't know what to think. So I pull over at her house there, parked on the street, get out of my car. I looked to see if there was there was no dents on my driver's side. I go around the front. The front looked fine to me, except my tires, the tie rods were both bent and my tires were facing out, both of them, my front tires. When I hit that curb, it bent the tie rods. I thought, well, shit, that's not bad. That's what was making the screeching noise. I went over to the passenger side, fucking caved in. That's how lucky I was that night.
Yeah.
Drive home. I drive home the next day. Like that, you know, all the way home. And what my big fear was, because I was still living at home. I mean, I was in college, but I was still living at home. Thought, how am I going to explain this to my dad? And this is when I went to my lie, right? I said, Dad, come take a look at this. I was proactive. I didn't wait.
Oh, no. You're going to say I woke up. And
what the hell happened? I said, well, you know, last night with my buddies, instead of me driving, I parked in a parking lot over there by COS. And when I came back, he goes, you're full of shit. What really happened? I mean, you saw right through me. I said, okay. Then I realized I wasn't going to get in trouble. I said, you want to go look with me? And we drove back, and I looked, and I didn't actually go into that cul-de-sac because I could see the big old hole that I made in that person's fence. And, looking back now, I probably should have gone to them and said, hey, I was the guy that hit it. That was pretty chicken shit of me.
Nah.
I thought I didn't hit anybody.
Uh-huh.
Offense. I can't do it. I can't go be truthful. Maybe it started then, Charlie.
No, you were a kid and scared, and you're right. You didn't hurt anybody. Like, it's a shitty situation. They had to pay for the fence, but fuck.
Yeah. But I just couldn't believe that I actually backed out, because I was actually in their yard.
Uh-huh.
Almost went to the pool. Almost. I was a few feet away from going into the pool. And for me to be able to back, because I didn't back out slow. I wanted to get the hell out of there.
Mm-hmm.